Hi, my name is Sally Bernard, an artist, author, and spiritual experiencer. Welcome to Call Me Zena, a true story into the spiritual realms. Join me as I sit and discuss the journey of self-discovery and awakening with the help of my spirit guides. It's time to trust your intuition. This is your inner knowings. Through questions and points of conversation, I can help others feel empowered. With the ability to touch people's past lives, I help others connect and not feel alone. Sit with me and call in live, 888-994-4995. Hi, good morning everybody, or good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. My name is Sally, and first of all, for the American listeners, I want to wish you a very happy Labor Day. I'm from England, but I love this holiday. I've been here many years. I'm here to answer questions. There's a few people in the studio, so I just sit back and listen to my show. I'm going to wait for the first question that's coming on now. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you. We have a question, I think, in the studio here. Your question is?
Hi, hello.
Hi, hello.
How you doing, Zena? My name is Mary.
Hi.
I have a pleasure to meet you personally. You're very sweet, very nice person.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
And my question for you is, sometimes people wonder if this power of talk to people that is on the other side really comes from God or come from the dark side.
Okay.
What is your answer for that question?
So your question whether how I'm getting
this power that you have
okay
comes from the dark side.
I don't feel anything bad about what I'm doing. I kind of channel, but I'm a very, very positive person. I just wanted to let you know that because you don't know me and you've just met me. But I feel a connection with the other side. I feel that I'm totally connected to them. They're not going to let anything happen to me. So I don't allow anything negative to get into my life right now. I'm as positive as I can be. I mean, I'm not happy all the time, but I try to keep that vibrational energy. If that helps you a little bit. So I know that if you don't mind if I mention what happened when we first met as I walked into the studio, is that okay with you?
That's okay.
Okay. I lost my daughter, as you probably may know from other segments of this, which I was on, and I mentioned it. My daughter died July 1st. I am devastated, of course, because I'm here. I meet Claudia, I'm sorry.
No, my name is Mary.
Mary. I meet
Claudia.
Mary, and the first thing that she says to me, and I want your permission to be able to speak, she said that her son had just passed within 5 days of my daughter. I believe everything is not coincidental, it's synchronicity. And I respect everything that you're saying to me. I just want to tell you that. Mm-hmm. But I believe that was definitely a message. I walk in and you tell me your son had just passed, and it was practically the same date as my daughter. I mean, we can read into that how we want, but to me, it was validation, not so much for me, but it was validation for you. And I respect completely your point of view. However, if you want to ask me
this is not
questions.
my point of view. I have mixed ideas about it. I wish you could really contact them freely. It's just being Messianic Jew and Christian and the church, they keep and tell us that we're not allowed to be, try to keep in touch with them because they are in heaven. And when they are in heaven, they can't contact us. So I wish, of course I do. I mean, who doesn't want to talk to your mother that passed, your parents, or your child, So I don't really have
And I don't want to change I'm not here to change people's belief systems. I'm only here to explain exactly what's happened to me. And I completely understand what you're saying. However, I have had so much validation from people that have passed on that to me, I am a complete believer. I don't believe meeting you today was coincidental. It was not for me. I don't expect you to understand, but maybe in time you might. But how does that happen? Yes, many people pass all the time, but they were both young. They had plenty of life still to live. So I believe that these messages that I'm getting, and I don't feel that I should give you many messages until you feel comfortable with it, but I am receiving messages from your son.
Yes. And but how it is? How is the feeling? You feel like what, a whisper? You feel a thought in your brain? How it is when they send a message?
Perfect question. I love that. I hear. I don't necessarily see so much, but it's like telepathy. That's the only way that I can explain it.
Telepathy.
I go with the first thing that comes into my head. I've done that for many years. And for people that know me, they will tell you that I'm not here with my ego, or I'm able to do this so well, but I have been able to not only contact them, I give them the first and last names of the person sometimes.
Wow.
So to me, it's been validation for me, just as it is for you. I did not know I could do this. I found out 15 years ago because so much happened. And I began to realize that I had psychic abilities at that point. And my message to everybody, or anybody that wants to call in on my show, is that I can ask questions. I can also get names. If someone is a little apprehensive, which I feel, and I respect that absolutely, but I try to validate that in the best way that I can for you, to say maybe it'll open your mind a little bit. There's a little bit more than what we see here. I want to call it the other side of the veil, if that helps you in any way. You are not sitting here by coincidence, in my particular view, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, can you have like one example, one story that you can tell me, like from your contact for
Well,
family?
yes, I have many, many stories of the validation. You probably didn't see my last show because you didn't know who I was. But I had a lady here who I've been friendly with for 30 years.
Oh.
She was exactly like you. And hopefully maybe you'll meet her. Her name is Margaret. And she was scared. She was religious and very, very scared. However, she had known me many years. And suddenly, I didn't know a lot of her relatives, but I'm giving her answers to questions that, just as I am with you, it's like a deja vu for me, because she was in exactly the same place that you are.
Amazing.
And today, going on maybe 15 years now, she is a complete, and I'm not here to change people's views, but she is 100% a believer in what I do, because my validation, it's here to help people to realize that there is so much more. If you don't understand it, that's fine too. I understand that. But for me, I can't deny it. I've had so much validation and proof of what's happening just for my art. And I'll explain that a little later. I couldn't paint. Today I'm an artist. But I didn't know that. I was given messages that I could paint. And the fact that we both lost children at the same time, I should walk into the studio here when you're standing here, not knowing who I was, and I'm not knowing who you were. I hope it opens your mind a little. If it doesn't, that's fine, but maybe in time it might. And that's okay if it doesn't.
It's okay. I appreciate the help. I understand, and I also give my condolence. I know it's most difficult time in my life, and
Of course. And I can relate to that. I've just lost my daughter. I know what you're going through. But
did you contact her already?
I have.
Oh,
I
you
have,
did?
because I had a guide that was here, who materialized here for me, who actually passed 1 year ago in this month, maybe within a couple of days. He passed, I don't like to say even die, he transitioned a year ago, who is with her, because he gave me so many messages in this lifetime, and he said, when I go, I will give you more, and he's giving me the messages. I can't deny it. It may sound strange, I know that, but I personally can't deny it, because I had so much proof through my artwork. I was drawing so much of what I had no idea what I was drawing. And people love my art today. I've written a book about it.
Yeah, I can see you very peaceful. Did you feel a lot of peace being in contact with the dead, and now that psychic doesn't take your
Absolutely.
peace away? You don't feel afraid? You don't have any doubt?
No, I have no doubt whatsoever.
That's
I spoke
wonderful.
to my daughter as she was in hospice, and for the last 2 or 3 days when I was there, I wasn't aware that she could hear me, but she was in and out. She was in the other side, but she was with me. I told her how much I loved her. I kept saying that with my granddaughter. We were sitting there holding a hand, and at that point, she was here, but not here. Part of her was here. A little tear came down her face. I'm sorry if I'm going to get emotional, because I'm still here in this 3D world, you know, and it still touches me, but she heard me. And she has given me messages through my friend who is with her, who's helping her transition on the other side. It's a lot to take in, and I totally understand where you're coming from. So I don't want to tell you that this is the way it is. It's the way it is that I believe, if that makes sense to you.
Okay, one more question. Did you have dreams that happened, like prophetic dreams?
Beautiful question. Yes, this is how this all started. I was given messages in my dreams 15, 16 years ago by my guides, but I had no idea. I could be sitting where you are now. I had no idea that this was going to happen. But suddenly I'm getting messages, go paint, go tell the world, all these things. I documented every single thing. I would wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and write and document what I had heard in my so-called dream. It all came about. How does that happen? I was not a believer many, many years ago. Well, I believed there was more, but I didn't really concentrate on it. But it was my time to tell people, I'm not here, and I want to say that too, to change people's minds. That is not what I'm doing. I'm only here to tell my story so that they can make up their own mind. Does that help you?
Yes, yes, I
Good.
understand.
Good.
It's very nice. Well, I think I have other questions.
Please, that's all right.
You had a comment on the screen.
Oh, okay. Should I strive for one common goal? Okay, my answer to that would be, it's a little open-ended, but yes, I believe that you should, because what we put out into the universe here, we get back. So if you have something in particular on your mind that you really want, please strive for it, as you say. Strive for it, think about it, and we will get the answers. The big question here, and the answer to this, is please listen and believe that this is possible. If you do not believe, it may still happen, but it may not happen the way that you necessarily want it. So believe that this is possible. That's what I did, and this is where I am today. Does that help you? I hope so. Thank you for the question. That was a good question.
We have a question over here people have written in.
Okay.
How do you attain balance and tranquility in life?
Okay. It's not easy, okay? But I do, because I realize that our journey is all about balance. So if I'm too much, as I would say, on the other side of the veil, but I'm still here in this particular lifetime, I would be putting myself out of balance. So what I try to do is go through a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I'm still here with what I call the 3D world. If I leave the 3D world with my messages, that's fine too, but I have to bring myself back into balance. For anybody that's struggling with this, it's really important that you concentrate on both sides and try to find that balance. That's very, very important. Otherwise, you're too much one way or too much the other way. That's not working. I am here in this lifetime, and I have to live this lifetime too. Hopefully that answered the question.
And they write in, how do I find my soulmate or know that the person I am with is truly my soulmate?
Okay, well, kind of go with your instincts. That's what I do. When I answer questions, I hear, and I go with the first answer. So if you meet someone and you feel a little bit, let's just say a little bit of oh, that person is nice, go with it. But on the other side, if you feel that I want to stay away from that person, by all means do so too. You don't have to be rude, but just say that you really basically don't have anything in common. I think that will lead you, if you go with your gut feeling, that's very important. That's what I do. So in other words, if you want to meet someone and you're with someone that's making you feel uncomfortable, you don't have to be rude, but you know that that may not be the person for you. If you meet someone for the first time and you feel very comfortable, that's a clue. Go with it.
How does one discover themselves in this realm?
Okay, how does one discover themselves? By going inward, if that makes any sense. There's a lot to that, but go with your thoughts and your dreams. And what happens to you from here on in, you will have the same as what I was just saying. You'll have that instinct feeling. Am I on the right track? Am I not on the right track? But listen, that's very important. I write in my book, which is called Me Zena, listen to your thoughts. Listen to what's leading you. And if you feel good about it, then you're basically on the right track. If you feel uncomfortable, then I would say that you're not necessarily. It's making you out of balance. This whole thing is balance. We are energy. So if you go with that energy, you feel it. You feel the flow of it. If it's stopping you, and many things will happen that are telling you that you're not on the right track, then look into that. That does help.
But Zena, well, how do you displace other people discouraging you? How do you put aside all of the noise that has led you to believe that one is not good enough?
Okay, this is that our mind is, without going into detail on this, I feel that we're very controlled through many different ways. We're controlled by our parents, we're controlled by the media, we're controlled by everything. So if you can somehow quieten all that, I'm not saying don't watch television. I watch television, I watch the news. I make up my own mind. But if you can just sit back and go quiet within yourself, if you can meditate, if you can just take everything that's going on around you, just let it be and just listen to your inner feelings, into yourself, you will begin to see that you are given, which I was definitely, given messages. So just go with your first thoughts, your intuition. It's given me a lot of peace, and I'm able to do this today because of it. Okay, what is the best way for a person to attain happiness? Okay, that's within our control, okay? It may sound silly, but if you begin to think negative feeling, the universe, and I'm going to call it the universe, doesn't know the difference, good or bad. Okay, so the best way for a person to attain happiness is, in my point of view, is to think positive. Just believe what you're believing is going to come around and it's going to come true. Do not put the negativity there. Is that hard? Absolutely, I completely understand that. But if you try to portray the confidence and the happiness that you want to attain, you will find it. It may take a month, it may take a next day, it may take a year, but continue with that. Please continue. Even if you feel that bad things are happening and it's not happening, okay, that can happen. We're here. There's a lot of things going on here, but continue with your positive thoughts. That's so very, very important. I can't emphasize that more. Of course we have negative thoughts, but try to disperse them very quickly and continue on the positive, okay?
Any other question?
If you're in a spiritual realm and you feel as if you've got some sort of intuition, but then you're here in this 3D life, as you call it, if you feel your spirituality is larger than your physical presence, how do you let people know who you truly are, or do you stay in the physical world?
Okay, that's also a good question. I thank you for that. I'm here, and I'm very grounded here. However, I try not to, with my thoughts, I'm sorry, can you just, kind of left me, can you just give me part of that question again?
The physical energy realm of who you are versus spiritual.
Okay, yeah. I rely on my instinct, my gut feeling. So that takes me beyond here. It's for me. I feel it. I know it. I'm getting help. So if today I had a very, very frustrating day, actually, this morning. However, I knew I was coming to this show today. So I got in tune with what I feel from a higher realm, I'm going to say from the other side. It's not always, because you can meet and attract what you put out. So I'm meeting some very positive people. The moment I walked into this studio, I felt completely at ease. So I try not to let the negative get to me. I know that's not easy. It's very difficult. But if you can say to yourself, whatever is happening in your life, there is more. okay? But you want to keep the balance too. You don't want to ignore some things that you have to do that are negative, but go ahead with it with a positive attitude. I hope that helps.
When you're connecting to the other side and you feel a presence, do they always give you a positive message?
No, not always, no. I am told sometimes to go with Gordon. I go very, I think.
Hello?
Hello.
We have Lynette on the line.
Hi,
This is
Lynette.
Sally. This is Ness. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing, Lynette,
So
today?
anyway, the painting you have, first, out of curiosity, I want the painting. How much is it?
I'm
How
sorry.
much does it cost? Your painting is beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, this
Yes,
actually.
we will discuss the price and whatever. But it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I love it. Your
Okay.
artwork is amazing, first of all. So second of all, I have a question that needs to be answered. So second of all, this is it. My sister, she closed on a house, and she wants to know if it will go through with financial stuff with the other people and onward, and if it's her home afterwards. Do you have an answer?
I'm
Her
sorry,
name is Sherry.
I missed the very beginning of that. Can you just repeat the very beginning?
Okay, so this is the thing. This is the thing. So she just recently sold her house in Newfoundland, right? Newfoundland.
Yes.
Right across the pond from you. And she has sold the house. She sold it. It's been on the market for 3 years. It's finally sold, okay? So it's good. And all of a sudden someone's pre-financed, but not completely financed, okay? So she finds it on Tuesday. First of all, will the house be sold?
You say she sold the house or she's in the process of selling it?
No, it's not closed. It's not closed. Till the close, it's
okay.
not closed.
Okay.
So there's still an inspection. You know, you need to inspect or whatever. Maybe you know how it goes.
Yes, absolutely. I actually had a real estate license, so I
Yeah.
can understand the question. Okay.
I'd pay $20,000 for a roof once, so I get it.
Right. Well, in answer to the question for your sister, and I say this with anything, please remain positive. Doesn't always happen, and I know I'm harping on the positive a lot. I feel that it will go through, that there are going to be a few complications with it, but as long as she believes, and this is really important, this is who I am, I believe that it's going to happen, it will work out right for her. And you know what? There's a flip side to that. If it doesn't, and that can happen too, I believe there's always a reason why, whether it's going to be a better offer or maybe she was meant to stay in the house. But
That's
I
what
feel
my
that
mom
it's going to go
said.
through. She might be ready. If it
My
doesn't,
mom
then
said
you
she's
find that there's
she's
a...
tied to the house. She's tied.
Well,
Do you think she's tied to the house?
if you're trying to, and this applies to not just selling a house, if things are going all the time with what, and even though you're remaining as positive as you can, and again, that's not easy, but everything keeps going wrong, think twice about it. Maybe that's where you're meant to be with anything in life. It just happened to me this morning. I don't want to move, but a few things went wrong in my house, and I'm going, what is going on? But I was able to correct it, so I think I'm still in the
Sally,
right
I
place.
hate your answer, but I know you're right.
Okay, I
I hate
respect
your
that
answer,
too.
but I know you're right.
That's okay, thank you.
It's true. She is not ready.
No, maybe
My
not.
other sister put her house in the back in Calgary. I sold it in one day.
I do
You know?
feel
But
this.
she was ready.
I do feel, and I do want to tell you this.
Like
I
the
don't
other
think she's
sister had
ready.
a place to live, and this one doesn't. So I get it.
Well, it still might go through, but I think she still needs to think about this, okay? This is what I'm feeling now, the more I'm talking to you. Is she making the right
Also,
decision?
do you have a time for Sherry? Do you have a time where she will get the place she needs to move into? Because it happened so quick. You know, 3 years and finally she has it.
I think
If
she
she's
needs...
ready.
What I'm feeling is she's not quite ready, okay? Maybe in a few more years. There's something
what I
going on
feel.
in her life that needs for her to be where she is. If that makes sense to you, if you can understand that. She needs to
Well,
stay
Sally,
put.
I appreciate that, and so will she, because that's what I see. Not what I see, but I kind of feel it, that, like, she's been holding on to this property, and there's a reason.
There is. I'm
But you
feeling that.
confirmed it.
I'm feeling that very strongly now, the more that
Yeah.
we're having this conversation. She still may get
So she
offers.
can sell it, but where she sell it? It's Tuesday's closing, you know, but she, you know what, she's
Oh.
been cluttering, like, everything's
Okay.
gone.
Ask her to go
Which is
into
good.
herself. She may even have a dream about it. For the next few days, ask her to be very aware of what her surroundings are and what she's doing, and if she is
Okay.
truly doing the right thing. That's important. I feel that that's very, very important for her. So if you can pass on that message to her, whatever she does is up to herself. Obviously, I can't
I
tell her
will.
to. But I think that's important that
As
she
coach
listens to
rivers, all of
herself.
my body, Sally, thank you.
Thank
As
you
coach
very
rivers.
much for calling in.
No, you're right. She
Thank
needs
you.
to watch the signs. And I also have two more questions, if it's okay.
Yes, of course.
Second of all, will she find a place to live right away? No, forget about that one. The other one, she had to put her cat down, and the cat had this disease, and she didn't know she made the right decision. And the name of the baby was a man's black cat, and he was beautiful. He was so nice. And she wants to know if she made the right decision putting her
Okay,
in that
I
one.
can tell you what's happening to me right now. I want to cry because I love animals. Yes, she absolutely made the right decision. I did this with my dog a few
I
years
know
ago.
she did. I was there.
Okay, so please know that she put that cat into a better place. The cat knows this just like our souls of humans know this. She made the right decision. Suffering is not the answer here. If it's ready for the person or an animal to go. In fact, animals are psychic. They know their time to go. So sometimes we keep them longer and they're in a lot of pain. She made the right
That's what
decision.
she did. That's what she did, and she won't do it again. And
She
I
tell us
was
she
there
made the
when
right
she put him
decision.
down, but it was like something that we didn't think was wrong with him, and it's
There
like,
was something wrong with
wow.
him, but they choose their time. We're not
But
sure.
he didn't have a tail. He was a Manx. You know, he couldn't swap things away because he didn't have a tail. So the cat didn't have a tail, so it couldn't swap flies and stuff away.
No,
So he got
no,
him,
no.
Like,
Please put her mind at ease. She definitely
Yeah.
made the right decision, okay? Definitely. But
Yeah,
animals
so
tell us,
he's wondered
they
about
tell us.
that.
They do tell us. Just let her know that
no.
too.
Thank you, Sally.
He was
Like
telling her.
culture verse.
Okay.
You're awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Good night, Mother. Hey,
Bye-bye.
I'll talk to you soon.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you so much.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Okay. If freedom is simply being able to do what you want, are animals more free than humans? Yes, I think they are, because they're in a different vibrational energy. So they don't have the speech as we do, so their life is less complicated. I believe they understand so much. I believe animals are here to help us. So in their own way, in answer to the question, yes, they are more free than humans. We're inundated with so many different things around us that we don't take the time to really listen and understand what's going on. Animals are less complicated. They love us unconditionally, and this is very important. If only we could learn to love people unconditionally, but we always put conditions on our love. You can abuse an animal. You know what? I'm not recommending that. It's terrible. However, they still love us. So that's really your answer.
Another call.
Hi, who am I saying hello to? Hello, caller. Please give me your question and I'll be happy to answer it.
We have Andrea who's connecting in just a moment.
Okay, thank you, Andrea. There was a little hold for a minute, but please stay on the line. We're getting there. I'm not in control of this, I'm sorry. But it's all good.
Andrea's over.
Hello?
Hello, hi Andrea, nice to speak with you. What is your question?
My question is about my relationship with the ex guy, and I want to know if it's gonna be done because he tried to destroy my life. He tried catch the things I financial habit, and I tried to get out of him for long years. But finally, I got a restraining order against him, and I want to know if this is gonna be done soon because I can't support this anymore.
Okay, I feel that yes, it is going to be done soon. you know, and I hope you know this, that you definitely made the right decision. You'll get bad days, you'll get good days, but carry on with what you're doing. You have made the right decision. This won't take too long to figure this out, okay? I feel that. When I say too long, when I talk to people from the other side, which I can do through, they're just telling me, they don't have time. So in my mind, they can't give you the exact time. I can't say next month or 2 months from now. But what I can tell you and what I'm being told is you are on the right track. Do not ever, well, I can't tell you, I don't like to tell people what to do, but I feel that you should never, ever go back on your decision. Does that help you?
Yes, I know, Anna. Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, Sally.
Hi, nice
So
to
I
meet you.
have a question for you. I was the one that commented in and asked if we should all have one common goal to strive for. And it's kind of a two-parter for me, just because I'm so focused in on the arts. And I want to be the person to change people just with my art or with my music. But I know it's such a hard field to keep yourself career into, just because we're such a capitalistic nation. It's hard to make money off of being an artist or being a musician. So should my goal be to change, to influence people through art, or just being a good human and being a good activist, like
Okay.
going out and voting and marching and doing more political stuff, I guess?
Okay, this question is very dear to my heart because I'm also an artist, and how it came about, I feel that I need to spread that word because I feel that it was a gift that I was given 15 years ago in
Okay.
my later part of my life. I am feeling definitely that that is your goal, that you should continue, you will spread the world. I actually feel that with you, I really do. You're going to be, it's not always about success, but you are going to be very successful in two ways. One is helping people, which and I know that you feel the same way. This is what you've been given. This is what, however it's come about, this is what you've chosen. So as far as what you should be doing, continue on that. I can't tell you not to go into politics, not to do this, but I'm more with, which I feel is more on the spiritual side,
Yeah.
to help people here because we need to make a change. I feel that you're definitely part of that change. And again, it's bringing tears to my eyes, which is very good validation for you and myself. Okay,
thank you so
I hope
much.
that helps you. You're welcome.
Yeah, I appreciate it so much. Thank you, Sally.
You're welcome. Thank you for the question.
Can you help people find their purpose? I guess more along what he said. If you're torn between two paths, can you help someone guide on the right path?
Yes. Again, you have to be open-minded about this. You know, if you say, and people do, and maybe I was guilty of this before this all happened to me, I can't change people, I can't do this. However, if you have a purpose, it will come to you. I did not know I could paint. I bring that in my story because I had no idea. But my purpose was to show people that I could draw, that I did something that I never knew until I was actually in my 60s, that I could paint. I could never do anything. But it was so strong within me to show people this. I didn't realize, but I continue with what my gift was given to me, and I started to draw, which was a story to help people. We all have different stories. We're all given messages. We just don't always listen. So yes, I believe that we should continue with whatever our gift is. And I'm kind of losing it because I'm sorry, Dawn, for some reason, maybe it's just me right now. Can you just give me the end of that again?
About the path to choose.
Yeah, well, our choice is we feel it. If we're on the wrong road to something, well, say within ourselves, and we're going down the wrong road, it's easier to explain it that way, we'll keep getting obstacles and we'll feel a little bit disconnected. If we're on the right track, it comes out, it's there. That's the beauty of this. Everything seems to fall into place. When it stops falling into place, you go down that road, but you come back. If you can bring yourself back, you're truly on your right road. You feel it. It's just, when you start to feel happiness, things are going your way, I believe that's our validation in this world. to continue.
When you learned you had psychic abilities and medium abilities, did you tell people right away?
No, I did not, because I didn't believe also in myself. I'm saying, how is this possible? I knew I could paint, which I'd never done before, but it happened. They were validating me. I would go somewhere and someone would say, is there anybody around me? And I'm getting the first and last name of that person. And in my logical mind, this is saying, this is impossible. How in the world can you tell them who their loved one is and they're giving you their first and last name when I'd not known anyone, I had not met them. However, I kept getting validation on that. I'm giving messages to people and what I'm giving them is coming about. That's how I began to change. I was very stubborn, very stubborn. But today I see that, and I see also that it helps a lot of people.
Is that what gave you the strength to show your authentic self?
Absolutely, 100%. I knew that. I did not want to do this. I wanted to paint. I wanted to tell my story. Was I told to give messages? In fact, I think even when I first met you, I said, I really don't know. But today, and I'm getting so many people with gratitude that they're giving me for thanking me for doing this, that this is my road too. Psychic abilities came to me. They've been with me since a child, but I know it's really important today. I can't change everybody, but if I can change few people to show them that there is so much more and they choose to tell more people, I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing here. I feel very comfortable now in doing that today, even on this show.
When people cross to the other side by a murder or a drug overdose, not of natural causes, do they present to you differently than, say, an elderly person who dies of old age?
There's no difference, Dawn. To give people comfort that have lost people through suicide, it's not easy here. And I'm not, by all means, please try never to do that. But are you punished on the other side for that? No, I don't. I can only tell you what I feel. You may need to learn more lessons, and I believe in reincarnation, as you know. So I believe you come back, there's no time on the other side, but someone that has crossed over through suicide might come back a little quicker. Maybe they won't. But however we go, that's our choice. We still go to a very loving place. We are not judged in that place. However we passed, whatever we did, we are forgiven. It's here that we have to work that out, not there.
So the messages that you still get from the other side are still those of positive and wanting to connect with their loved ones physically here on Earth.
Absolutely. And in fact, people that have passed that way are more eager to pass it on to the people that are still here because they're hurting so much, thinking, could I have done more? Should I have done this? Should I have tried to make their life happier so that they didn't end it? No, that was their choice. And I believe that whatever was happening to them, that was their time, actually, through people that have an illness that, that can't be a young person that comes in and passes away very fast. They say, but it was such a short life. But they came in for different reasons. They came in to maybe show their parents that they were born into, to show that how much love they have because they showed that love with that child. We choose, again, I don't expect everyone to understand that, but I'm learning that. We choose our lives to help other people too, not just ourselves. So someone that may have committed suicide, showing that they are still around and they're coming back in, and they may go with a parents that they choose, because I believe we choose our own parents, that they come in and they can show more love to those parents that maybe they lost a child through that way. They can come in pretty quick too. So they can come back and show them that it's a difficult topic because I know how people feel. But if I can help people in this way, we choose our lives. And if that was their time, even through suicide, that was their time.
We have another question?
No, we're here first.
Oh, okay.
Got a comment.
We've got a comment.
Oh, great. Good that we are help. You know what? Can you read me the question? Because I get the answers better than me reading it.
Why are people resistant to doing things that we know are healthy, but crave things that we know are detrimental to our health?
That's life in the 3D world. Yes, we do. We somehow kind of don't always like to be told what to do. So if someone says to you, this is healthy, and they want to eat something else, they're going to go ahead and eat it until they have to learn that lesson, that maybe what they're eating is not healthy for them. So then they say, you know what, maybe I should listen and go with the healthy food. We're still given the messages, healthy or not. If we're not healthy, we're going to probably maybe get sick. If it's healthy, we feel great.
If you know a relationship is over because that your partner does not see your true self, do you reveal that true spiritual self, or do you continue to keep it hidden?
Okay, if you feel that a relationship is over and you're not, you need to be authentic. You need to be yourself. Be it in a relationship or however. You know, I'm sorry, can I have a glass of water? I'm sorry, my voice is going. Maybe, sorry, thank you very much. Excuse the pause. Okay, thank you. We're going to take a commercial break. My voice is drying up. I'll see you back on the other side.
So do you tell the future?
I can.
Yeah?
Excuse me a minute. I think I've been talking too much today. Give me 1 minute.
A true story, Call Me Zena, is the telling of Sally Bernard. Born in London, England at the end of the Second World War, she came to the U.S. in 1979. A mother of 2 and grandmother of 4, she settled in Florida and worked in real estate. While going through a difficult time in her life, she was admitted into a hospital overnight in December of 2005. While settling back into her life, she began having vivid dreams and documenting them. By the 3rd dream, a lady gave her a message to draw. With no artistic background or interest in art or history, Sally listened to her dreams and grabbed paper and crayons. Today, she has over 150 pieces of inspiring art and poetry. This book follows her journey and interpretations of these messages. She describes in detail how she is able to astral project and who she has met along her travels, including her spirit guides. This book will show you how anything is possible with an open mind. These events have changed Sally's life's direction, and this book will show you how to change yours. Purchase Call Me Zena on Amazon today.
This world, this life, this illusion. What is going on, we ask? What is happening? Why not take time and see what is happening? This world as we know it, it seems so real, and yet so far away from where we've come. Corruption, greed, anger, power, revenge. Please wake up. We can change what is around us. How, we may ask. Learn to go back to where we were. Then we will have the clues. Then we can change and go forward. Please take the time. Do not fall into the game which we have put upon ourselves. We can change. We can make a difference. We have the power, each and every one of us. Go in peace. Go with love. Go as one. Zena. You have been watching Call Me Zena with your host, Sally Bernard. As an artist, author, and spiritual experiencer, know that you could always seek me out for resources. Visit artbysallybernard.com today. Now, back to the show. Hi, everybody. I'm sorry for that short break. I needed to have a glass of water. I've been talking too much today. Do we have any questions in the studio?
I'll ask you a question.
Hi.
Hi. My name is Bill Reicheter.
Hi. Nice to meet you, Bill.
Very nice to meet you. So, since you can tell the future, or you possibly tell the future in some instances, I'm running for state senate, District 30. How does it look?
To me, my first instinct is to tell you it's looking good, okay? I don't know, I'm not sure, but this is what I'm feeling. Carry on with what you're doing. You're going to be very successful.
All right, well, thank you.
Look at that, you came in and you got a good read.
We have somebody else in the studio that looks like they want to ask me a question too.
That's
Do you?
Mr. Mike.
Am I going to win my congressional seat in 2024?
I believe you are. Okay, okay, we're going to clap on that, okay? Don't hold me to it, but that's my first instinct. Okay, you are definitely. Okay, okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Sally, you're gonna be the guru to all the politicians.
That's great.
Of the
Bring them in,
future.
please. Bring them in. Bring them in. I'm here to answer the questions. Okay. If I can help in any way, I'd be happy to.
Sally,
Okay,
I got
thank
a
you.
question from somebody who says that when someone passes on, now you have some personal experience in this, when someone passes on and you're able to connect with them, because it doesn't happen all the time, but when you're able to connect with them, are they still present after your conversation with them? Are they traveling with them?
Okay, that's a really good question too, because from what I know, they're always around you. I mean, they hold that energy that you're giving them. So when they pass and you want to contact them and they have a question, they're giving us the answers to our questions, they never really leave you. However, it's not so unsimilar to here. They also have things to do, but they're able to be there. When I know that, you know, my story about my guide materializing himself here, I know that if I call upon him, he's there within a minute. He's probably usually with me most of the time, and sometimes I think, hey, go away. But that's okay. But he'll always find me, as he did here, actually. He found me here. So he's not going to be any different on the other side. He's around me. I've had so many messages to validate this. Someone could say, what is she talking about? And I totally understand that. However, my validation for me has been amazing. So I feel that you can always pull them in at any time you want. They don't just go off and leave you. But they do other things, but they're always there when you call them.
And is it because we're not sensitive enough to feel or hear them?
Perfect. We're not, unless we're kind of in tune with it. It took me many years. I didn't know that I was going to be doing this. I knew that I was getting messages, but I've worked at this for the last 15, 16 years through someone who was here, which you guys know the story, who showed me the way and how to do this. They don't leave you. They don't. If I can give, I mean, as you know, I only just lost my daughter 2 months ago, but I feel her presence. Can I be sure? No, but I know that when I do things, I feel that she's with me. For instance, tomorrow we have a tribute to her. I feel that she's contributing to that. It's not just my imagination. I've had too much to put it down for just coincidence. It's not. For me, it's definitely there. They are with us.
And what do you got? Comment? What gets you excited about life?
Love it. This journey, I get very excited about it. I love it. I love every minute of it. I love to help people. I feel good. I feel that I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing in this life. If you told me 25 years ago I'd be doing this, I would have no idea. Was I as happy as I am now? No, I have never been happier in my life. Hey, I just got engaged. I'm not that young. I don't believe that that was coincidental. It wasn't the right timing when I met this particular person 22 years ago, but now in my life, I'm drawing all good things to my life. I love this life.
Does your artwork have symbolic meaning?
Absolutely, yes, 100%. Not to go into my whole story here, but my guide was here, who had looked for me, I believe, obviously in past lives. What I started when I had my dreams 15, 16 years ago to go and paint, I had no idea. I could do nothing. This is just part of what I've been able to do today. 16 years ago, I was sketching. I was sketching from different lifetimes. They all had significant meanings. I didn't remember those lifetimes, but my guide here that was with me, who materialized, was with me in those lifetimes. I still might not have believed that, but I'm drawing things from lifetimes ago that were very symbolic in those days. I'm drawing signs, symbols, buildings from 15th, 16th century. I wouldn't have known if he had not been here to tell me to go into the internet. And from then on, these are beautiful, but my beginning sketches had so much, they all have symbolization here. But my proof was to see that I could still sketch from hundreds and hundreds of years ago of things that I've never seen in this lifetime. Maybe I was just stubborn and I needed to wake up to help people and tell people that this is possible. But here I'm seeing what I've drawn. He never led me, but I would ask him, what is it? And he would say to me, well, go into the internet. You're going to see that symbol from the 16th century. And it was there. It was there. So yes, there's certainly symbolization of things, not just from this lifetime.
So I have another question. About 10 years ago, maybe more now, the time goes so fast, my mother passed away from cancer. So she had a rare cancer, multiple myeloma, and I had taken her and my father to Arkansas because there was a doctor from Germany that specialized in it at that time because nobody here had the right protocol, I guess is the word. So on her way home from one of the trips there, driving home with my father, they stop in a hotel, she has an aneurysm, and she dies. Okay, so, well, she actually didn't, she didn't die at the moment, she was brain dead, and they lifted her to the hospital in Tennessee. So I flew up there, and I was with her, and we had to decide to pull the plug, and she passed away. And I was the only one in the room with her when she passed away. So me and my mother were very close growing up, very close. And one day, maybe a week after the funeral, right, I was in the yard, and my mother gave me these angels that I had in a flower bed. Accidentally, I broke one of the angels, right? That night, I'm laying in bed with my ex-wife, right? And I'm sleeping, and we had a back door that went to the pool area, right? Everything's always locked. That door never actually opened. We never left the bedroom to go into the pool area. One night, that door opens, swings open, totally ice cold air flows in the room. I see my mother floating again up in the air above me. I'm like stuck. I can't move. I'm trying to like tap my ex. My ex has already woke up because that door swung open and the room got so cold. And my mother looks like she did 20 years ago, when I first was a baby, right? And she says to me, everything is going to be okay. 3 seconds later, I feel her like go through my whole body and gone. And then after that, for maybe 2 years, lights would go on and off in the house. And we took the batteries out of some of the remote lights that were battery operated, and they would still go on and off depending on certain situations that were happening in the house. So now that it doesn't happen anymore. But how do you know if a loved one, my mother, is still with us or still with me that way? Because I felt like she was communicating with me through light, and it's been gone for 7, 8 years.
Okay, that's a good question too. How would that happen if she wasn't communicating with you? So that was your
scary.
answer to that. Don't be scared. Fear takes away actually a lot of what's going to happen. So we're better to just listen and see what's happening. She wanted you to know very, very badly that she was still around you. I mean, she gave you enough messages, and you can see that, right? Whether you believed it at the time or you're believing it now. That doesn't happen here unless there's something else going on, in my mind anyway. Yeah. But when you if you began to open up, they also have things to do on the other side. They have their own life. Doesn't mean that they're not around us. They're around us anytime we call. But she wanted you to know that she was still around. Was this shortly after she passed, did you say? Yeah, there's like, as far as I feel, that there's a resting period, but they also want to comfort you. They want to let you know that they're still with you. They don't leave you. So your mother is still with you. She may not feel the need as much to tell you because she did all that she could do at that point to show you that she was around. However, what I would say to you is call on her sometimes. Just, and ask maybe a psychic, if you're not getting the answers, what did my mother want? She wants you to know that she's still there. She never left you. And she will give you, even if you don't realize it, little messages. I've had so much. In fact, to give you an example of that, my guide that came here from another, he was with me for 18 years and taught me. He knew my triggers. If I asked a question, I would normally get the answer from someone that had passed on the television. Well, he died a year ago yesterday. And I asked him questions just like I did when he was around. 2 minutes later, I get the answer on a television or on the internet because he knows that that's my trigger and I will get that answer. He's able to do that. If they were not here, in my mind, how on earth would that happen? But you sometimes need to call on them to say, I want to hear from you. And they will be there. They'll be there.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. It's it's hard to even tell people because it's like so out of
Accept
the-
it. My advice to you is accept it, bring it comfort to you. There is so much. I had so much. I was what they would call, today we call it astral projection. I was stubborn. I was in a place that I did not understand this. But for a year, when all this happened to me, I was going to different places 3 times a week in my travels, in my dreams. So for me, as stubborn as they had to show me that there was so much more. It's such a comfort. In the beginning, you can't always understand it, but the more you get into this, and the more maybe you ask your mother questions, and more things happen, be open to it. Be open to all the things around you that you see. The answers are there. They're giving us the answers. We just don't stop and listen sometimes, or we don't believe it, which I understand. I was that way too, but not today. Thank you.
So we can ask questions of the other side and they'll answer versus waiting for them just to come and give us the message?
I recommend that you ask them questions. They're wanting that. They're wanting you to answer questions. Now, there's different ways. I mean, you can go to a psychic, or you can go to or I get my questions, which are validated actually on the internet and TV. My questions are answered. But my friend Aldo, who was here, knew that I did that. And I got some amazing validation from that. Amazing. And you could say, well, how does that happen? Yeah, I could have said the same, but it was happening all the time. And my biggest validation was the fact that I could start to paint and do things from other lifetimes. I hadn't seen them in this lifetime. They wanted me to wake up, and I began to listen. I was stubborn, but I woke up because we're in a sleep here.
All right, there's another comment. What's the most sensible thing you've ever heard someone say?
Okay, the most sensible thing that I was ever told is that I can do this, and that was very sensible because I can help other people. For me, the most sensible thing was for my guide Aldo to tell me, be my mouthpiece, you can do that. And I'm so happy that he said that to me because I am now his mouthpiece.
What else does Aldo tell you from the other side?
Since he's passed, many, many things. He's also told me, my daughter passed a little while ago, as you know. I mentioned that because before he passed, 2 weeks before he passed, he came to visit me. We talked every day for 18 years on the telephone. He lived with me for many years, and then he went his way because he said, you are ready. But he also said to me, sorry, can you just do that again? Because I get off.
One of the most important things Aldo has said to you.
Yeah, he told me, and it's very important, that I am ready now to spread his word. He was he knew so much. He came in with the knowing of where he had been. He was able to read a newspaper at a year old. So the validation he gave me. But he then said to me 2 weeks before he passed, he came to visit me. He said, Sally, I think he knew his time of his death. He said, please be my mouthpiece. Everything that you've learned, you are ready. And to me, those words stay in my mind. 1 year later, yesterday actually, I think it was, that he passed. You're strong enough, you can do this. Please show the world what you can do so that they can do too.
Sally, people are asking, how do they reach you in between shows?
Okay, well, I have actually a website. It's artbysallybernard.com. I believe you can leave messages there, or you can actually email me directly, which is sallybernard1111@gmail.com, and I will answer questions for you. But the most important actually is to call into the show. I can talk to you personally. So please call into the show, and the number is 888-994 4995. Please call into the show. I'd happy if you do it that way, because this way we have communication with each other. Please call in Mondays at 3 o'clock. Every Monday at 3 o'clock, I'll be here.
Invite people to the studio.
And I definitely would love people to come to the studio where you can talk to me face to face. So please look up the Brooklyn Cafe show on a Monday and come into the studio. There are wonderful, wonderful people here. I love it. Thank you. And we're finished. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Have a very happy Labor Day, and I'll see you next Monday. Thank you. Coincidence or not, it's time to trust your intuition and knowings. Thank you for joining me through this journey of self-discovery and awakening with the help of my spirit guides. I'm Sally Bernard, and you can find my book, artwork, and contact through artbysallybernard.com. Join us next week. This has been Call Me Zena.